The other day I was video chatting with a friend and I pulled a snack out of the fridge to munch on while we chatted, as one does. My friend saw what I was eating and was slightly terrified. She asked me what it was, what had I pulled out of the fridge that was in a bag of liquid, and I told her it was a ramen egg. I love ramen eggs. If I go to a Japanese restaurant, even if I am not ordering ramen, I will order a ramen egg. Those suckers are expensive in restaurants. You want me to pay $1.50 for half of an egg? These odds be with you for making your own ramen eggs at home. I know what ramen eggs are from experience, but just in case you've boiled eggs that have been soaked in a marinade. They are traditionally soft boiled, and you end up with this egg that has this delicious savory flavor on the outside and a soft custard-like yolk on the inside. The ingredients that you're going to need to make these eggs are relatively easy to find if you have, for example, an Asian market within vicinity of you. But another great option in case you don't is Weee. Weee is an online marketplace where you can order all kinds of international foods and have it shipped directly to your door. Just in case this is a service that you would like to try out, I will leave a referral link down below that will get you $20 off of your first order. Let's go over what you're going to need to make these ramen eggs. As far as equipment goes, depending on how you like to boil eggs, you'll either need a large pot for the stovetop or an Instant Pot. I love using my Instant Pot because it makes the eggs super easy to peel. If you do use an Instant Pot, then a gadget like this will help with even cooking. You'll also need a medium pot, some tongs, measuring cups, a bowl for the ice bath, and a Ziploc baggie. I prefer these gallon-size ones for marinating 12 eggs. As far as food ingredients we will need, you're going to need 1 dozen room temperature eggs. Eggs are easier to peel the closer they are to their expiration date. Along with eggs, you'll need soy sauce, sake, although this can be excluded if you can't purchase alcohol, mirin, which is a sweet cooking seasoning, some sugar, pick a sugar, any sugar, it really doesn't matter, just your preferred sugar. And last but not least, hondashi. This may not be traditional, but I love the smoky flavor this bonito and kelp stock gives to the eggs. Just add 1 teaspoon of dashi powder to 1 cup of water to make your stock. If you don't happen to have dashi or you're just not interested in a smoky fishy flavor, go ahead and skip that, use regular water instead. The most important part of this process is going to be making our marinade, so let's get started. I'm going to start off my marinade by making my dashi stock. I'll add 1 cup of water and 1 teaspoon of dashi. I'll set that to high heat and bring it to a boil as my dashi dissolves in the water. Again, if you're not interested in using dashi, then just the 1 cup of water is fine. To this, I'm going to add half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of sake, and 1/4 sugar dissolves and your alcohol burns off. That process generally doesn't take more than 2 minutes. Once your marinade is done, turn off your burner and move your pot to a cooler spot on the stove. Leave your marinade to cool completely. Before you boil your eggs, you're going to want to prepare your ice bath. Add 2 to 3 cups of ice to a large bowl and fill it about halfway with cold water. This is an important step of boiling eggs because it stops the cooking process as soon as the eggs are as cooked as you want them. Next, it is time to boil our eggs. I am a strong believer that ramen eggs are best cooked soft boiled, but if the idea of a slightly runny custardy yolk does not sound appetizing to you, then by all means make yourself some hard boiled eggs. Like I said, I prefer using the Instant Pot. If you happen to have an Instant Pot at home, then all you're going to need to do is put your eggs into the Instant Pot, making sure that there is some clearance between the eggs and the bottom of the pot. You'll then add 1 cup of water, close your lid, make sure it's set to sealing, and pressure cook it on high, 3 minutes for soft-boiled eggs, 5 minutes for hard-boiled eggs. Once the timer goes off, do a quick release, And when it's safe to do so, open your lid, carefully take your eggs out with your tongs, and add them to your prepared ice bath right away. If you're going to be using the stovetop method to boil your eggs, you'll want to put your eggs into the pot, add cold water that covers the eggs by 2 inches, place the pot on the stove and set it to high heat. You want to bring this water to a boil very rapidly. Once it's boiling, turn the heat off and set a timer. 5 to 6 minutes for soft boiled, 10 minutes for hard boiled. Once the timer is up, gently remove your eggs from the pot using your tongs and place them directly into your ice bath. After cooling your eggs in the ice bath for around 20 minutes, it will be time to peel. I apologize in advance because this has got to be the most frustrating step in this recipe. I'm fairly certain that no one likes peeling eggs. I don't have a lot of hot tips for peeling eggs, but pressure cooking them in an Instant Pot really does make them easier to peel. Keeping the eggs in water as you peel can also help. As you peel your eggs, go ahead and set them directly into your Ziploc bag. Once you have a bag full of peeled eggs and your marinade has cooled, you can go ahead and pour your marinade directly into the bag over the eggs. Make sure to seal this bag tightly, getting out as much of the air as you can without spilling your liquid. You're then going to set it in your fridge and try to forget about those delicious eggs for 8 to 24 hours as they marinate. I like to place my Ziploc baggie of eggs in a bowl that will help the liquid reach over the top of the eggs. Another trick that I've tried that seemed to help was placing a paper towel inside the bag over the top of the eggs. It soaks up some of the marinade and brings it to the top, resulting in a more even seasoning. But a technique that I generally use is shifting the eggs around a bit in the bowl every time I open the fridge door. As long as you've been keeping your eggs in the fridge, they should be good to eat for 5 to 7 days. And the marinade liquid can be used again. If you find yourself craving some more yummy eggs once you run out, all you need to do is soft or hard boil your eggs and add them directly into the liquid. Again, leave them for 8 to 24 hours and they should be right as rain. I would recommend that once that marinade has hit a 2-week mark from the time that you made it, it should probably be tossed out. I'm going to go ahead and let my eggs get a good night's sleep, but I will see you tomorrow to give you a glimpse of what these beauties look like. Someone's in the kitchen with Adara. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Someone's in the kitchen with Adara. Begging for cuddles and pets while mommy needs to wash her hands and cook. Anytime I come to the kitchen, these cats show up because they know that their treats are in the kitchen, and apparently if mommy gets a snack, kitties get a snack too. Alright, it has been about 24 hours since I put my eggs in the fridge. Let's pull them out and see what they look like. I made sure to rotate the eggs in this bag every time I went into the fridge, and as you can kind of see, they have turned brown. That's a good sign. These turned out great. This is the exact consistency that I prefer for the yolk. It's soft, creamy, and a little bit like jelly. And you can see a big difference in the white of the egg, which has now turned brown after soaking in that delicious marinade. Oh, so yummy. Let's give them a taste and make sure they turned out all right. Itadakimasu! There are several things that I love about these eggs. The consistency of the yolk is just so nice. Super creamy, almost like you're eating a dessert. And the flavor of the seasoning, oh my gosh, it just makes this slightly sweet, slightly savory umami flavor of egg. It's just so delicious. These eggs are, of course, the perfect addition to your ramen, especially if you're just making quick instant ramen at home. What a great way to elevate the flavor! I also like to have these eggs with some cottage cheese for a protein kick. But if you're like me, you'll probably find yourselves reaching into your fridge just to pull out an egg and eat it all by itself. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below to let me know if you tried making ramen eggs for yourself and if you added any different ingredients to your seasoning than I did. Before you go, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out Weee. The link is down below in the description. Use that to get $20 off of your first order. I'll see you next time for another Adara Unboxed adventure. Bye!